Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in miniature. Today I definitely have something miniature. It is 1/30th scale, which is a weird scale, but it is what it is. From Warriors Workshop, we have the WWS 0101 Match Soldier / Industrial Soldiers. Loyalty G Assist Humanoid Soldier. What's interesting about this is it's a trilingual package. You don't see that all that often. It's both English, Chinese, and Japanese, but not all in the same spots. That's a thing. So, I'd never seen these before, and it looked kind of fun and funky, and I'm thinking 1/30th scale makes me think things like number 57's Armored Puppet line, Kotobukiya's Hexagear line, something kind of small, compact for the table. You can see here, I'm taking a wild guess if I can hold the box like a normal, regular human, which I'm not sure if I can, obviously. It looks like it's going to have a inner frame core body that we're going to have to build. And then on the back here, you can see it's going to be more of a kind of mechanical soldier dude. Slicing the box open here. I honestly, I just literally opened it myself, so you guys are seeing this with me for the very first time. Looks like we've got a multitude of hands, and yeah, they're pretty tiny, but then again, it is 1/30th scale. And this is what's going to greet us on the inside. This is a legit model kit. Not my favorite type of box, and I am seriously getting some major, oh boy, Armored Puppet vibes with this. Now, why do I have two sets of hands? Well, like it said on the box, there are two figures per package. Okay, this is the green version. I do believe they have multiple colored versions. You can see he's got his tools here. We got a shovel and a pickaxe. I have no idea what all those little black bullet-looking pieces are, but that definitely disturbs me. I'm going to take a guess that that's probably some kind of a joint connector here that we're going to use. Said joints. I guess I could just open up the instructions and actually take a look, but I'm not yet. It looks to be the same thing there. More joint stuff. Of which that looks like the same exact thing. Yeah, C3s. And finally, more parts. Okay, that's really descriptive. That's really helpful. Okay, here we go. So this is their industrial soldier. I want to say they have a more soldier-type soldier coming pretty soon. So you can see here, since we do have two of those figures, they're showing you everything you need for making one. It's weird. Oh, okay. As I suspected, I was thinking kind of like some of those Lego connector pieces that I don't know the names of that you kind of plug in to keep everything stable and steady. So you can see here we're going to use those rods to kind of support the joints. It's not something I've seen very often, at least in this scale, but it's interesting nonetheless. And I mean, I'll be honest, I'm always here for building a new kit and seeing what's up with that. I do like the fact that we have some multiple arm types. So if you want to give it a drill, that is absolutely doable. You get an explanation as to what it is in both Chinese and English, but not Japanese. This is interesting. Parts can be integrated into the peacekeeping armor, which obviously is a different set. This looks to be the basic version without all of the equipment on it. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. As you can see here, this looks a lot more bulked out. It's going to be kind of interesting. I mean, like I said, I'm all for something new, something different, and the price was pretty reasonable. Got this set for under 20 bucks with shipping, I might add, and tax. So, you know, obviously, if you're in an area that you can find this in stores, which would probably be somewhere in the Chinese peninsula somewhere, you could probably get it for a really reasonable price, I'm assuming, or somewhere in that area of Asia. Unfortunately, for those of us on the other side of the planet, yeah, we're going to be having to pay a substantial amount more. But I figured, you know what? Considering how much Kotobukiya likes to charge for something of similar size, I'm assuming, I think I can manage this to spare a couple bucks. So give me a sec. I'm going to put at least one of them together. We'll see about both of them if I have enough patience at the moment. And I will be more than happy to share those results with you. So if you want to see those, well, you know what? Sit tight. Alright, check this out. We got our little mech dudes all put together here. And unfortunately, it is that time of the day when the sun wants to mess with my camera, but we will persevere. So, these things were interesting in the fact that you only get 2 in the box. And I kept looking at the box and pictures online and the directions and everything had 3 guys posted. And looking at the actual sprue contents, because I thought, oh, well, you know, maybe they forgot one of the sprues. Nope. There are exactly 2. Which is a shame, because there are so many leftover pieces that if they had provided just a little bit better sprue layout, or even 1 extra, you probably would have had enough to make 3. What that in effect means is, like all the various attachment arms, you're basically locked in with what you got. Which, I mean, isn't the worst, but like I said, there's a lot of leftover pieces, and it would have just been nice to be able to actually pick and choose which ones. So you can build all the hands, but see this gray upper arm piece that connects to the shoulder? This is what you need. There's not enough of those, and there's not actually enough of the chest torso pieces that everything connects to. You got everything else, but not those. So, like, in effect, if you wanted to have the regular humanoid grabby hands, of which they have a bunch of different actual options. I thought I grabbed the guns, but I didn't, I guess. There's shovels, there's pistols, there's, you know, various sized drills. So it's pretty neat, and the posability is not bad. The only big issue, outside of the fact that I'm annoyed that I had to actually really pick and choose which parts I wanted, is the fact that it gets kind of tiresome on your fingers getting those joints put in, because the joints, as we had seen earlier, are just a few millimeters long, and you're basically slotting them into those tiny little holes, and have fun with that, because it wasn't. It did take me a while to get these done for that very reason, just because I keep my nails very short, so like I didn't have a lot of traction, and a lot of times, you know, I'll use my nails to kind of push the pieces in. That was not doable with these guys. Not to say that they were difficult to build, not at all. It's just maybe you've got a better method than I do for dealing with those kinds of parts. See, like I can't even like get his claw open. Cheat with a shovel, I guess. So, you know, for the size, and I know there's a yellow version, like Construction Guys, for the size, for the price, it's not a bad little kit. Yes, I'm annoyed that I wanted another, but that also says something to the quality level of what you're getting. I mean, they're pretty decent. If you're curious, I was assuming they were going to be a little bit closer to, you know, the armored puppet stuff. You can see here Isis is just a little bit taller than them, which means in effect as well they're going to be a little bit smaller than Hexagear stuff. But I think these guys were 1/30th scale, and I don't remember off the top of my head what the scale is for the other folks behind them. Now, with these big industrial laboring type mechs, especially if you just stick all the claws and, you know, drills on them, my first thought is, you know, slap them on a 40mm base or something, get them posed. You got yourself a nice, you know, worker drone mech for whatever tabletop purposes you need. They're not that big, but they're not that small. So if you wanted to use them for something like 5 parsecs, 1-page rules, whatever you're into, that might not be a bad idea, actually. Rain and Iron immediately comes to mind. Camel Wolves. I mean, there's so many different mech games at this point, but, I think the fact that they're very relatively inexpensive, I think I paid for both of them together. I mean, it was like less than $10 a figure, which, considering, the armored puppets tend to run about 25, 30. We're not even going to talk about how much a very basic bare bones Hexagear figure costs. But, if you're looking for just a few extra figures to flesh out a diorama, put them together for some nefarious tabletop purpose, I don't think you can really go wrong at the price point that they're being offered. And I know that there's other kits coming in the line, and they already had some as well. So there is a good variety, and if you end up with a bunch of them, then you can really get kind of funky and, mess around. So, it's not bad. Could they have more stuff included? Sure, but I could say that about just about any model that I've put together on this channel at some point, probably. A few, maybe not, but that's, a very rare breed, I guess. So overall, I am impressed. I would consider picking up some of the other sets when I see them or come across them. I don't know when that's going to be, and with the fun shipping shenanigans we are now currently dealing with, hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. But, if you're not in the U.S., you might actually have a better time than the rest of us. I haven't seen these in U.S. distribution yet. I got mine from China when we were able to without having many worries in that regard. So hopefully you'll be able to grab some as well if you're interested. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.